way down the road. It's nice to be driving. Well, I'm not driving, obviously. Amy's driving. Everybody keeps telling me my camera view is flipped. I don't know how to fix it. So if you're a techie out there, Curtis tried to tell me. I looked in the settings. There's nothing about my video looking like I'm driving in the passenger seat. I can't help it. A lot of people care. A lot of people are worried that. A lot of people have worried that I am somehow driving on the wrong side of the road or driving on the wrong side of the car. So I can't help it. So if you know anything about phones out there, I have a Samsung Galaxy 10s Plus. Right, that's what I have. Note. No, I have a Note. Note 10 Plus. For some reason, when I take the videos as I'm driving, it looks like I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and I don't know why. So, now that's out of the way. We are going to talk about the 2-year-olds. Why is this thing shaking so much? I think it's just a piece of crap now. I think it needs to be replaced with something that works better. We're talking about the 2-year-olds now. Now, a lot of you guys, much like the 3-year-olds, you know what's going on. You know the score. Ollie, turn it down, honey. You know the score. You know what's going on with the horses, where they're at, if they're turned out, why they're turned out, when they're coming back. I can let you know that. But for the most part, we know where we're sitting. Adrenaline rush. A huge wave of sickness went through the barn. At Brilliant Corners, I was telling Amy, you know, theoretically, if he trains next week and we can't race him before his next stake race, it will be 45 days right on since the first time he raced, and his only win, his only race, to the second time he's going to race. It's going to be exactly 45 days. That's how tough this virus was on the horses. And the fact that we had patience and you allowed us to have patience to do it right, I believe will show up very well. I saw Brilliant Corners in the field today. He is most definitely over the sickness. He was ripping and tearing up and down the field. They said he trained great yesterday in 2.8. We're going to probably go back in 57 or 58 up with him on Wednesday, and then he's ready to rock. So, Adrenaline Rush was in that grouping. He's now ready to go. I know he didn't train this Wednesday, but I believe the plan was, Ava, the plan was from Kevin that he was going to race or train a big mile Wednesday and then also race. So they're all in the same grouping for the most part. Barbie's crown is turned out. She's going to come back in another week or two, I guess. Next week, maybe, something like that. Beef and Cheddar, Harry said he still spiked the temperature last week. I believe they did train him a slow mile. He's going to be going to Mohawk on Wednesday. And I had some clients say, can these horses not race? I have to be honest. Absolutely not. They will not race until they're healthy, and they're not going to be healthy until they get over the virus. And if you try and race them when they're not 100%, you're going to make sure that they remain well under 100% for the rest of the year, and if you're really unlucky, the rest of their life. So this was a fairly serious and a fairly significant virus that ran through a lot of places here. And for those of you who maybe didn't see it at the start and said, well, I don't see a bunch of other horses being scratched, you seeing them now? Every race program, everywhere in North America, there's horses, multiple horses scratched. And keep a close eye on the races that are going on. There's lots that should have been scratched also. You can see them finish well back. You look at their form and you're like, wow, that horse raced bad. Well, guess why? That's why. So, Beef and Cheddar will train. I believe Harry was going to get back to me today. He was hopeful Wednesday they could go to the track. That's probably a mile for Beef and Cheddar. 2.2, 2.1 maybe, I'm guessing. And at that point, I would think he'd follow it up with a qualifier or right into the race. But pretty tough on these horses, and we were very, very fortunate to be able to have them back healthy and have them ready to go. And this time in the summer off will also ensure, hey, both of you stop. Stop. It will ensure that the horses are ready to go all throughout the early part of the fall and into the fall if you need them to. Ollie and Ava, I need you to stop now. Ava, you're trying to start a fight, and Ollie, you're not being very nice.
She's the one that wants it.
She's a toddler. She does not know.
She's sticking her hand out towards the screen.
Yeah, maybe she wanted to.
Get her snack.
I don't know what snack she has. Ava, you play with the baby for now.
Let's give Ava the bag.
Oh my God almighty. Oh, here we go. Get her a snack. Thank you. Anyway, Braemar was really sick and lost some weight afterwards. They say, Amy said he's eating very, very good now, putting his weight on. Johnny trained him in 2.8 yesterday. I thought he looked great. I think he said 2.8. No, that was the other horse. Maybe he went a little faster. He looked good in the race bike, and he's going to be in to go in Wednesday to train, and then Indigo shortly after that. So it's important that we're able to get him over the virus. 2, start packing that weight back onto him and put more weight on him. I've always said that colt needed another 100 pounds. Now it's 150. And then we will be able to race him. Okay. Boo. Better's Hope. So Better's Hope trained yesterday in 159 at the farm. But Kevin said he's still running in, still a little bumpy in the turns. I looked at him, he looked at me. I said, "We not turn him out now?" And he said, "Yeah, probably time to turn him out." You know, Kevin feels bad too. He put all this work into the horses. He wants to see the horses succeed for you. And at the end of the day, you have to step back from it and say, okay, what's best for Better's Hope? I think going out to the field, filling out. And as I told him, as far as that running in, the vet couldn't find anything. So I think the best way to approach that, 1 month in the stall, which will help heal up anything that may have been hiding from the vet. Maybe she couldn't find it. 1 month in the stall, 4 to 6, maybe even 8 weeks in the field after that, and then bring him back in. So I think that's what we're aiming for with Better's Hope. Blue Monk will be coming in a couple of weeks probably to start back his training. Want to make sure that he is in a position where he hits top speed when the allergies are gone. So we're looking at and again, I suppose if we can catch a couple of later stake races, that would help also. So a quick look at the calendar and maybe formulate a plan for him moving forward is the best thing to do. Brilliant Corners, as I said, I was talking about him. He looked great today out in the field. He's going to be going a mile in 57 or 58 on Wednesday, and then he'll be either Indigo. What's the date today? 8th? 9th? 10th? 13th? No, he'll be racing. His next stake race will be on the 21st, I believe, is the next stake race for him. Otherwise, I'm going to have to check the 45-day rule. He may just go right into qualify. We'll see how that makes it. I'll have an answer for our clients at Brilliant Corners today, which would have been yesterday, on whether he can race or whether he needs to qualify. He'll probably just be in to qualify. It was telling you that you were.
I was hoping this year.
I know, but it wasn't happy with the way you were driving. My Malibu needs to be driven a certain way, and right now it's not happy with the way you were driving it. Just letting you know. Anyway, and that's Brilliant Corner. So we'll get to the bottom of that today. Broadway Roll, I saw her train yesterday. Didn't ask Kevin how much. Looked like to be around 2.7, 2.8 with her. I'm not really sure. Might have been a little bit faster, but I suspect she's getting prepped to race this coming week. Cambridge Star is out in the field. I heard that Really Blue Chip was chasing around the field for the first week, and now they're friends. They're out eating grass. Both of them need 200 pounds, and I need to see that put on. So Sean Brizois, that's your job. Put 200 pounds on each horse, at least 150 before they come back in. Can't Muscle Me is running around in the field. We kept her here because I wanted her in the field, in the barn for 2-3 weeks. Then in the field here, smaller paddocks. You don't want to put them out you don't want to put them in the stall to get over an ailment and then put them out in a giant paddock right away. They can rip and tear and they can hurt themselves. So it's best to put them in a small paddock for a week, let them get used to it, and then turn them out in the big field. So she'll be going out in the field next week. Captain's Maid has been fantastic. Aaron Merriman told me he loves this filly. She raced out of her skin the other day. 9-hole aged horses, crossed over to the front, cut it all out, parked somebody, still went 28 apiece, 59, last half 57 in the mud, and got beat fair and square by an older horse. So Captain's Maid couldn't be racing any better. Very, very pleased with her. Carrie Big Stick is back in jogging now. He's moved into the Harry Polton barn. Still not perfect. I think God just didn't make him perfect, but he tries hard. We're going to put lots of work and lots of miles into him and see where it is. Worth noting, and I told Amy, Carrie Big Stick's brother by Wishing Stone, Ohio bred, is in the sale coming up. Now I know Johnny Shoe is going to say, please no, not the dent, scratch and dent sale, not the blooded horse sale, because we don't get a lot of horses out of the blooded horse sale that do very well. I believe we did get Well and Down. I believe we did get GW Chrome, who I think his best races are coming shortly. He looks very, very good. Now I know that he kicked the wall the other day. I kicked the gate and cut his leg after I trained him, but GW Chrome's tough as iron. He'll be fine for Wednesday. So the Wishing Stone brother to Carrie Big Stick, obviously a lot goes into this. I'm going to have to look at the horses. That's a big negative, Amy says. I'm going to go look at all the horses. I'm going to be in Ohio. So I am going to quietly tour around with a couple of clients looking at some horses in Ohio. I kind of kicked myself the other day. I was in Bowling Green the entire evening And I could have slid down to Hickory Lane Farms with, I think it's Hickory Lane. That's about a half an hour, 40 minutes away from Bowling Green. I wasted the whole evening. I could have made my way down there, and I didn't. That won't happen again. I'll try and get around to all the farms in Ohio in the coming weeks. Where am I at here? Cut the Line. Cut the Line's turned out. She'll be coming back in a few weeks also. I want to give her lots of time. She qualified in 58, just her knees were bothering her, and she needed to fill out and mature, especially when you see the stake races going in 52, 53, 54, 51. You know, set a world record, 2-year-old fillies at 51 at Northfield. I think it was the fillies. It's incredible. So she just needed some time, so we gave it to her. Desperado is racing Tuesday in Urbana. Now, that is a fair track, but it's not a fair race. That's a Buckeye event. He schooled good. The only thing that bites me a little bit about Desperado, you got to kind of drive him mean for him to get real good. You know, I had to chase him a little bit with the whip the other day. When he won in the fair track, he looked great. But again, I had to get after him. And then schooling the other day, I had to get after the bugger again. So I think he's just holding back a little bit. But Desperado's sitting on a good mile in Urbana on Tuesday. Eternity Road has turned out. We'll bring him back and prep him for his 2021 season. We've tried to do everything right with this colt, and I hope it pays off, because he's got an immense, just an immeasurable wealth of talent. I really want to see the best, the soundest form of Eternity Road come back, and I hope we do. First Glance was incredible yesterday, 55 after being off 20-some days. Just jogged, 3 wide around the last turn. Mario drove him good, but he looked good. I'm really, really happy with First Glance. Fox Valley Brits is going to make his racing debut in Indiana this week. He was sick, actually. Here's another horse. When we're talking about those high weights jumping up on horses, that could have been it to begin with. Fox Valley Britska, we raced him and he was poor, and then we took his blood 2 days later thinking that, I thought maybe the EPM medication bothered him that week. We took his blood and his white count was 14, much like Tanzanite Tricks was the other day when we had to scratch her. So Fox Valley Britska's going to make his debut in Indiana Wednesday. I can't be there to drive any of the horses in Indiana this week. And a lot of people are saying, well, can we get Trace? Can we get Trace? No, you can't get Trace. Trace has a million drives for a million different trainers. And Doug, who's a trainer, our trainer, drives his own horses down there. But I said, Doug, you drive the horses. You know them. I'm going to be there most of the summer anyway. There's no point saying, hey, you know, that's my girl might be a little tricky to drive this week. I left hard with her last week, so she has to figure out that you can't leave hard every week. I wanted to go drive her, but I simply can't this week. So Doug's going to drive her, Italian Grit, and Fox Valley Britska, try and get them a nice prep race coming up for the stakes in the future. Frilly Fringes will be coming in the next week or two. I think when we send out Can't Muscle Me, we'll bring in Frilly Fringes. She should be fine now, filled out and ready to start back jogging. Girls with Swirls will need another 2-3 weeks, and we'll start back with her. Gray as the New Red is training tomorrow and going back Thursday also in Northfield. We're prepping her and Rose Run Why Not to qualify in the coming month. Excuse me. Gray as a New Red, sound now, looks great, same as Rose Run Why Not. Both of them arrived in Ohio the other day. Jason was happy with them both on Saturday. A GW Chrome, as I said, trained in 2-2 last half in 58 in Northfield the other day. That might be enough to win the stake race he's in on Wednesday, so hopefully that cut he got in his leg won't bother him very much, and he'll be all right for Wednesday evening. Holy Chick, Mario loves her, said she's jogging back great and looks good. Obviously, she's not going to make any races in Ohio, but we'll probably get her ready, race her a couple of times in the fall, and shut her down and prep her for her 2021 season. Italian Grit, nice little tightener for him the other night, Saturday night, 2-1, last quarter, 28. We'll race him back this week. He's racing in the Indiana State Fair at Illinois Racetrack, Indiana State Fair, Indiana Downs. Yeah, sorry. The State Fair at Indiana is where he's racing this week, and Doug is going to race him for us. Iglariam trained good Saturday. I saw Johnny go with her. She's going to be going to the track on Wednesday to train probably 2-3. She took the virus really hard, and that was coming on the heels of tying up. So a lot of time missed with Iglariam. I'll be the first to admit it. There's not much we can do, and you know, there's always the other side of that coin. That time off gives those horses time to mature and grow up. Hey, what are you doing? Put your seatbelt on. So Aglaire AM will be training Wednesday. I'm a Lovely Lady. I think I've spoken enough, but I'm a Lovely Lady. Man, oh man, the tenacity and toughness this filly showed this week was off the charts. Top shelf. She couldn't have raced any better. Third start in 8 days, and she's second in a world record, track record performance. Just unbelievable. I'm a Lovely Lady was incredible. I'm Hill on Wheels is now healthy, starting back. He had a little filling in his leg, and I said to Mario, obviously he wasn't doing anything to hurt it, but we should get that looked at anyway. Probably a quick little pop the ultrasound on him this week to make sure he's okay, but I think he probably is. He's ready to start back going harder miles this week. Jazzy Judy's back going. She was supposed to come to Ohio, but she was coughing the other day, and I said, that's a negative. There'll be no coughing horses coming to Ohio. So we're going to wait probably another 4 or 5 days. She seems fine now. She hasn't coughed since, but we're going to make sure that she's okay before we start her on her way to Ohio. I need to get her there, though. There is a timeline there, and she's starting to stretch it, so I want to make sure we get her to Ohio quickly. Jesse Balboa, Johnny loves this horse. Said he trained great the other day, trained in 2:10 at the farm. He's going to be going over to Mohawk, probably a mile in 2:1 if he can, if he feels comfortable doing it on Wednesday. Keystone Raven's back jogging good. She's back. She's going to be pushed back quite a bit. Like her and Holy Chick will be ready sometime in the fall. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's Roll On went out to the field the other day. He's gone out to Winterwood. Let's Roll On does everything except go fast. He just interferes a little bit. He's such a big horse. I'm always going to stick up for horses that try, and he tries real hard. Honey, just wait for them to get out of the way.
I'll just go around.
So we're on a street, and this person, look, this guy. There's a better chance.
It's a girl, first of all.
No, that's not a girl.
That's a girl.
Oh my God, she'd make a wonderful husband. Oh my God.
She is.
No, it's not.
I can't.
Anyway, whatever. She's trying her hardest to back her camper into this driveway. There's a better chance of me beating Usain Bolt in a 100-meter dash than that person get. Just go around then. She's going to end up wrecking that person's basketball net or something. My God almighty. Somebody should help her out and back that in for her. Oh my God.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to.
Right, it is wonderful. Anyway, sorry. Let's Roll On. He just tries too hard not to be a nice horse. So, and that's not to say he's going to be a nice horse, but he'll be an effective horse. You can't be, Addie, you can't try as hard as him and not be an effective horse. He's so big. You got to put a ton of muscle onto that 2-year-old frame. We're going to. He raced as good as he could race at the fair. It's shocking that a horse his size could get around that tight track in Painesville. So I even had more respect for him coming out of the race than I did going in. I come off the track. Jason looked at me and I looked at him, and we both knew. I just said, take the shoes off and drop him off at Winterwood. And he said, it's pretty hard not to. He just tries so hard. So Let's Roll On is out this season. A horse that is not out, but is going to surprise a lot of people in the coming weeks, is Miss Meringue. This is a filly. Maybe not surprise you if you owned her from the start, because we paid a lot of money for her. You expect her to be good, but she wasn't at the start, was she? She got knocked down twice. Whoa! She got knocked down twice, and in training down. And when we started racing her, Addie Bear, what are you doing? And when we started training her down, she just looked ordinary. Ava, can you play with her, honey?
I will get her some blueberries while I get.
Okay, you do that. So, still hasn't got that backed into the driveway, by the way. Drove all the way around. I think she's worse off now than she was before. So, the camper.
Oh,
the lady
it sounded like you were talking about Miss Meringue. So.
No, the Miss Meringue is set up very, very good for her start in the Buckeye Tuesday.
Where is Miss Meringue?
Miss Meringue is in Ohio. She won her last 2 races at a fair, but she won her last start by 10 lengths, wrapped up with the earplugs in.
Was there rides out?
You know what? The first fair there was rides, and then the governor shut everything down. There's nobody allowed at the fairs anymore. The next year, remind me, you guys should go to the Bowling Green Fair. It's a beautiful fair. And this town of Bowling Green is immaculate. No dirt anywhere. It's a beautiful place, tons of restaurants. Just a really nice town. What's that, honey? So Miss Meringue won her last start easily at Bowling Green. Looked absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait. That's a bucket of blueberries. I cannot wait to race her Tuesday in Urbana in the Buckeye Stakes. Momo's best race good. We're going to try her with the hobbles this week. Just train her first. See how she feels with them on. If she could get a little more confidence in the turns, I think she'd even pick up a second or two, which says a lot. Maybe not two. Pick up a second. She raced great the other night, shot at 57-3. On paper, you'd say she raced pretty good, and she did. But the time and the effort she lost, and the forward march that she lost after the turns, I can't help but think if she would wear hobbles, she'd be a much, much better horse for it. Momo. Now, that's not to say that she's going to qualify a race with hobbles on. I'm going to train her and see how she feels with them on. Momo's in Ohio also.
Daddy.
Yes, honey.
Who's the best horse that we have in the barn right now?
What do you mean? In Ohio?
No, like...
The best horse? Oh, that's hard to say. Yes is training back. White Tiger's there. Also, Pine is looking like he's going to race good. I'm going to put him in to go. We have a lot of nice horses right now. So,
I like Tiger.
I don't know if Tiger can beat Yes, but Yes has got
He
training
got
back
a
still.
world record.
Yeah, at 2 he did. Yes has got a world record too. You make a good point. They both have world records.
Well,
Only one of them still has a world record. The other one's not. First Glance does not have a world record, but he does have a win yesterday. So,
He's a good boy.
he is. Mama knows best. We're going to try her with the hobbles on, see how she feels. If she feels better, we may qualify her with the hobbles on, so we'll see. Momo is going to race Tuesday. She's got a tougher division, too, and the 11th race in Urbana. She's making her way. I was a little disappointed when she ran the other day because I think she could have done real well in that class. But she trained well on Friday. She trained well, so we'll see how she races Tuesday in Urbana. My Jazz. What can I say about My Jazz? My Jazz has done everything perfect. She has the most money made of any horse of ours in Ohio. She looks great, and she is a stone-cold winner. She loves to win races. She won even though she wasn't comfortable on the front in Scioto, and then crushed them the other night at Northfield. Now, she didn't race against Virgil's filly. No, she won by 2 or 3. She didn't beat Virgil's filly. She didn't beat Burke's filly, but she won, and she beat a number of fillies. My Jazz continues to impress the hell out of me here in Ohio.
Daddy?
Now, hold on, what's wrong with me?
Who's the horse that we have that loves, that has her ears up every time she wins
I don't know. Lots of horses
or
do.
passes by another horse?
Oh, lots of horses have that, honey. No free lunch. Trained Saturday, but did cough a couple of times after Saturday. So Harry's optimistic we can train him on Wednesday, but that'll depend. If he coughs Monday, Tuesday, we can't train him hard on Wednesday. So we're hoping this is the end of that sickness. We will see in the coming days. Northern Blizzard, I watched him train a slow mile yesterday. He's going to train on Wednesday, and I believe he's got a stake race not until the 29th. So still some work to do there with Northern Blizzard. Off-Road Hanover. He actually had allergies worse than anybody in the barn. So we're going to leave him out until we know when he starts going fast, the allergies are gone. We'll probably race him throughout the fall and into the winter, and then we'll make a decision about the Meadowlands at that point, or New Jersey at that point. But for now, Off-Road Hanover will stay in the field. Perfect Record is ready to go probably in 2-3 or 2-4 on Wednesday. I'd like to see a good mile out of him. We had him ready at this point before, and then after that point, he got a little bit sick. We had to give him time off. So he's now back to where he was 3 weeks ago. Perfect Record. I'd like to see Johnny say he went 2-3 or 2-4 on Wednesday. Rose Run, why not? I'm so excited to see this filly. I can't wait to get back to Ohio. Thursday morning, I'm going with her in Ohio. No, I think I'm good with it. I can't wait to race or to train Rose Run, why not on Thursday. Jason's going. Be careful with that popcorn, sir, honey. Yeah, I'm gonna bet that lady with the camper's still there. No, somebody got it parked for her. God love her. Rose Run, why not? Is training Monday with Jason, and I'm going to come back and go there Thursday. Can't wait to go with this filly. I really thought this filly was something special, and now that she's healthy and sound and training back, I cannot wait to see how she's going to look on Thursday. I told Jason, give me a report Monday. I'm going to be driving to the Meadows. Let me know how she did, and then I'm really eager to go with her on Thursday. Roy Hill had probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen a horse put in his life. It wasn't his fault. on in Northfield his last start. The kid that drove him a little hard. That happens. I mean, I was an aggressive driver at one time also, and I've been guilty of the odd bad drive too. So it's hard for me to throw too many stones. I think if you asked him, he'd be the first to tell you that he didn't drive the horse very good, and then the horse did flip his palate. But I suspect that probably had something to do with the way the race shaped up and what took place. Maybe he was a little sick. He didn't cough. He didn't have temperature, and his blood was fine. But we treated him. We treated him for EPM after the race, because that, a lot of the time, you see that softness, that looseness in the palate is an indicator there may be an EPM issue there. And we have treated him in the past. This wouldn't be the first time he get treated anyway. So we've treated him up for EPM for Tuesday, trying to have him as fresh as we can. We got him shod. Jason's going to train him, or he trained him on Saturday. I didn't ask him how he went, but if he went bad, he would have told me. So Roy Hill will be ready to go Tuesday in Urbana. Set the Mood is not back training yet, but I saw him jog yesterday. I thought he looked good on the track, that horse. Bobby jogged him and said he's been jogging every day. They'll probably start training him in another few weeks. So Admirable. Kevin had said Kevin loves this filly to death, and we were close to almost selling. So I didn't tell anybody this because the offer didn't go through. Obviously, when we have an offer come in on a horse, I feel obligated to, and I always do tell our clients we have an active offer on a horse. It didn't come through, so I didn't bother. But there was a couple of people that were seriously looking at So Admirable, and it's pretty hard not to. Her first start was incredible. I didn't even know she had that much pop to her. For a filly coming off of Kate, we're not dumping popcorn all over Anthony's car, so that will be stopped right now. So Admirable, 3 wide around the last turn, closed up hard, just raced like a killer. Her first start in Georgian, she got sick. Kevin trained her yesterday. I was going up the ramp as he was coming down, and I said, "How's the big girl?" He said, "I'm glad you didn't sell her." He said, I love this filly. So Admirable, trained great. I can't wait to see her at Mohawk. She caught me off guard. I didn't know she was that talented. She just needed a little more time to transition and get her feet underneath herself, and she was very, very good her first start, and I can't wait to see Kevin race her at Mohawk. Source Blue Chip again. He was sick and took it hard. He's back going now. I did not see him train yesterday. I suspect he did. I'll have to follow up with Kevin. He's in the same grouping as everybody else. He was sick. He's training back. Now he's getting close to being ready to go again, I believe. Stacy Hanover Mario told me trained great yesterday. She is massive now. I can't believe how much that filly's grown in such a short time. Her butt is still way up over her withers. She's got a ton of growing to do. And I really thought Mario was just going to say, we're just going to turn her out. He said, no, she was good. Trained in 220 the other day. I was happy with her, which I had trained her in 2.7, but that's with the hobbles on tight, and she just didn't look super effective. Mario said she was very, very good training the other day, so I'm eager to keep getting updates on her. If we have to turn her out, we will. Where are we at? Sunshine in May. I think we all know where May's going. May's probably going to be sold at some point. Nice filly. Does her work well. We'll probably race her a start or 2 more. Hopefully it'd be great to get a win for our clients and get a win for Bill, the breeder, on her. But at the end of the day, she is still worth money. As I said, don't kid yourself. The racing this fall and winter is going to be cheap in Ontario, and it'll fit in. It'll bode well and fit in for a filly that probably going to be a 58, 59 pacer for a little while, and that's exactly where Sunshine in May is going. Sweet Ambitions looks good now. I've been told by Amy and everybody else that she was very, very sick. She's one of the horses that got it the worst of anybody. She's back healthy now, and I said to Mario, just take your time, get her ready, and qualify her, and we'll see what we have. Tanzanite Tricks, unfortunately, we had to scratch her in the second leg of the Pure Ivory. The final's coming up, though. She actually might make the final because there's a number of horses that were sick. So we'll see. No, she got the check. She was 5th. We'll see how she is this week and how healthy she is. If Kevin has that white countdown and if he feels comfortable enough, she may be in to go Thursday. That's another thing I want to talk to him about. So don't take my word for it. If she's not ready, she's not going. That'll be up to Kevin, and we'll see this coming week. That's My Girl is racing Tuesday. I was happy with her. Just got photoed out for 4th, finished 5th, and did a lot of work to get there. So I was happy with That's My Girl this week in Indiana. Tipsy and Dixie has been great. And a little trip to the vet the other day, make sure everything was all right. She's going to be, I think, qualifying Tuesday. Talk to Harry. We're going to put her in to qualify on Tuesday. She has a stake race the next week. Makes sense. It's an easy way, especially with the COVID rules changed. It's an easy way to get a nice little gate tightener into her. Mile and 2.2, 2.3 would suit her great. And then a week later, she'll be racing in the grassroots at Mohawk. Walk on the Moon looked great last week. 56 last quarter, 27-3. Sitting on a big mile. Very happy with the way Mario drove him. Very happy with the way he raced. Can't wait to see him race in hopefully the final of the Millard Farms. Warwi was up, trained in 58 on Wednesday, so I suspect Kevin will have him in to go soon. He'll likely be one of the only colts that'll get a prep race for the grassroots, I believe.
We'll see. Make the final of the Millard. He didn't race in the first.
He didn't have to. He's sitting 10th right now, tied for 10th in points. There was only 2 divisions with like 13 or 14 horses total. I would suspect, I would be shocked if he didn't get in. So that's Walk on the Moon. Warwi was up, trained in 58, and I suspect he'll get a tightener again. That'll be up to Kevin, but I believe that's where he's headed with him. Warwi Welcome will train Wednesday. Everybody said, can she race? She's going to relax. This is what I'd like to do. I'll tell you right now what I'd like to do with Warwi Welcome. Train her in 2-1 on Wednesday at Mohawk and race her in the grassroots her next start as a prep race to get her back into the golds. But just thinking she get over the virus and just because we believe and think she's a gold filly that's where she should race, that's idiotic. Just put her in. And I'd said this to Mario. Don't feel any pressure from me. You want to race her in the grassroots for an easy event? Race her in the grassroots. If she's a real good filly, she will make the final of the OSS. And if she's a tremendous filly, and I hope she is, we still have her paid into a number of races at the end of the year. So this virus, this time off, will actually bode well for a horse like her. So we have Warwi Welcome. I would love to see her train 2-1 on Wednesday and in the grassroots next Tuesday. That would be how I would like to do it. And Mario and I have talked about it. We'll see what Mario does with her, but I suspect that's likely what's going to happen. Well and Down. Who would have thought? The only undefeated horse we have in 2020 so far is Well and Down. Now yes, it is. She's 2 for 2. Who else is undefeated?
Brilliant Corners is 1 for 1.
Oh, that's right. Amy's right. Brilliant Corners is 1 for 1. But Well and Down, Brilliant Corners didn't have to race in the cornfield and through the grass the other day to win. If you drop one more piece of popcorn, you are banned.
It's her.
No, it's you. These are your hands attached to your arms. I'm seeing you do it. Well and Down. Well and Down was exceptional the other day at the fair. No, honey, I'll get some in a minute when I get her back. She was. That's right. She was fantastic, Addie Bear. And Won My Heart Hanover is out in the field. She'll come back in whenever I feel like it. 2 or 3 weeks, we'll probably bring her back in. So that's all the 2-year-olds. You guys are up to date with the 3-year-olds. The 2-year-olds, you got an opening. We're going to buzz through the stables real quick, and that is it for the day. Had a great weekend with these little monsters. And you. And I head back to the meadows first thing tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. I'm back to work in the America. We'll talk to you guys soon.